Do you know what upset me with Destiny? Was the fact that this game had so much potential. Do you know, potential that could have made it into a game that we put in our top 10, top 20 lists. But it went a completely different direction, and it's become a game that's not bad, but I wouldn't call it a great game either. Alongside the repetitive gameplay during the missions, there's more or less no story. We're not told who we are, and there's been missed opportunities for huge battles against the different alien races, and more or less all we do is take a ghost to one point, let him do his business, and then we defend him against wave after wave after wave of enemy. It's so strange that a game that had so much hype and on paper it looks brilliant on paper could become such an average game, such a grind. Even the factions, there's no side missions, there's no missions that delve deep into their story, into their backstory, and tell us who they are, what their agenda is. I know there's a little description when you go to buy their sort of gear, and then there's the grimoire cards that more or less tell you most of the story, but you can't put all your story onto cards that you have to go into a separate thing to read about. Why can't that be explained in game? There is a lot of things wrong with it, and there could have been things that were fixed before this game released. That is why I'm so upset with Destiny. And when I compare Destiny to other MMOs that I've played, it's beaten in every single area. Whether it be in terms of how big it is, or the type of content there is, or how much content there is, it's beaten in every single area. Now, there is 2 expansion packs coming up, one in December and probably one around late spring. What I'm hoping for is a bunch of content that will be added on, so strikes, new maps in Crucible, and new missions, which I think that's already all been confirmed. But I'm also hoping for new types of activities to do. And I don't mean something big that'll change the face of the game. I mean something small, something that I'll want to do when I don't fancy playing the Crucible, or I don't fancy doing a strike. For instance, in Guild Wars 2, there's this little activity, and I can't remember the name of it, but what happens is there's around 6 to 12 players, I believe, in this little arena thing, and there's this barrel that everyone has to get, and the person who has it the longest at the end gets a reward, matching it to the length of time that they held this certain item. And I think things like that just give you that variety that Destiny is missing. I think if there is more of a variety of content added with these expansion packs, then Destiny can start to become a good game, because that's what it is mostly lacking at the moment. A variety of content and just the amount of content that's in the game, because there is not a lot to do. If that's all added, then I do think I'll start to play it more often than I have been doing now, because I haven't touched it in probably a month or just over a month. I do have big hopes for these expansion packs, because I am counting on them adding a whole load of content that will hopefully bring me back into Destiny, because I do want to play Destiny, but every time I do play it I get bored really quickly, because I have done everything that there is to do, and I think that is the main problem with Destiny that can be solved in the short term. In the long term, as I've said, the story needs to be evolved more, and I don't think we'll actually get to see a proper story until Destiny 2, maybe. What I do think they can do in the long term for Destiny 1 is evolve the factions, give them a story, give them a storyline, not just the side missions that we get in the patrol missions, if you can call them side missions. For now, that's all I've got to say about Destiny, but as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.